So I think we will get cracking now. Obviously, we know you guys have set aside some time. So what I'm going to do to start the webinar off is I think we'll just go into a bit of information into Target Integration. So that's the company I work for, who we are and what we do. From there, I'm going to pass it across to Mart. So Mart is very kindly joined us from HubSpot today. So if you want to just give us a quick introduction, Mart.
Excellent, thanks, Martin. Name is Mart. I'm from the Netherlands. Been with HubSpot for around 4 years now. In the last 2 years, really supporting our partners in the UKI in terms of growing together with HubSpot. So it's great to be here together with one of our top partners, Target Integration.
Thank you very much. Kind words. So I'm just going to do a quick presentation then into who we are and what we do. So if you can just let me know when you can see my screen.
And while that's loading up, just to get ideas about, look, guys, if you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A section. We will be happy to answer your questions at the end of the webinar or during the webinar as well. Mart is an expert on HubSpot. Martin has been working with HubSpot for quite a while as well. And we'll all be happy to answer any of the questions you may have during the webinar.
So sorry, Rohit, I didn't introduce you. So if you want to just give us a quick introduction into who you are.
At the moment, I'm unknown because yes, my camera isn't working. Apologies, guys. Rohit is the name, and I'm working with Target Integration or running Target Integration for the last 13 years this year. So a teenager, Target Integration as a company. We brought HubSpot in as a partner earlier this year. We've been working with HubSpot and integrating HubSpot with a number of ERP systems and software in the past. So we have quite a lot of experience of working with it, but we are now an official partner. I guess Mart kindly gave us the entry. He was like, yes, you guys are working so hard. You might as well join the team. So yeah, glad to be a part. So thank you, Martin. Over to you.
No problem. Yeah, okay, guys. So as I said, thank you for your time. So I'm just going to do a quick presentation. It won't take more than 2 or 3 minutes, just who we are and what we do. From there, then we'll get straight into today's webinar. So who we are, we were established in 2008 with a mission that every business should be able to leverage the full power of their business insights. So in terms of where we are located in the world, our headquarters is in City West in Dublin. So unfortunately, like most of the UK and Ireland, we're still working from home at the moment. We have 2 back-end offices in the UK. So we've one in Birmingham and one in Hemel Hempstead. Strong presence across India. We've also opened a small office in the United States in San Francisco this year. And we have a small development office in Greece as well. So long story short, it's providing a perfect mix of quality and value. Oops. Okay, let's go on here. So what we do, Target Integration is a solution-focused business. Solution-focused business. So what we like to do is we like to find out how a business works, and from there, then we can choose the right solution for their business. Also, because of the size of our company, we've experts in every industry. So we don't just specialize in one software and one industry. We specialize in working in multiple softwares and multiple industries. So these are some of the companies that we work with. So you can see some of the big names there, obviously HubSpot being the first and foremost, but we also work with other softwares as well. And kind of tying back to my last comment is we'll always try and find the right software for your business and not just the only software that we represent. So this is then a small snapshot of the team. So currently there's about 90 of us in the organization, and we are continuously growing as well, which is good. So why us? We are solution focused. Okay, so that's number one. We are technology independent, so it ties back to my previous comment. We won't just be biased and recommend the only software that we represent. We'll always recommend the best software for your company. We are experts in business processes. I think it ties down to the size of the company that we are, that we have experts in nearly every industry. We don't just specialize in one industry. So we offer business insights and analytics. So we have business, I suppose, insight experts that can really, if some things aren't working right, we can kind of step in and say, look, we think this could be done in a different way. And we also offer analytics as well. And we can offer in-house technical support. So it's another, I suppose, string to our bow that we can really, if you are having any issues, you can rely on us for any technical support. So these are some of the case studies of companies that we've worked with recently. So you can see there is a range of different industries, anything from tile wholesale companies to credit unions. So you name it, kind of, we've worked with it. And these are some more of our happy clients. So you can see there AIB, which is one of the biggest banks in Ireland. We did a big project for them. Action 24 security company. Seco, well, I think everyone knows Seco. They make watches, very nice ones at that. But yeah, these are some of the clients that we've worked with recently. So as I said, now I think that's the end of who we are and what we do. So from there now, I'm just gonna pass it into Mart, who's going to kick off the webinar. And as I said, guys, look, feel free to jump in and ask any questions if you have any.
Excellent, thanks, Martin. Let me start sharing my screen, and we can kick off. Just a sec. Just going to stop my video, just easier. But really, what we're going to talk about today is really about customer experience, because at HubSpot we believe that today's most disruptive companies are winning on customer experience. And really, when we talk about it, a lot of times it's about taking someone from point A, someone who's anonymous to your business, to point B, someone being a promoter, and then having very linear thoughts about marketing, sales, and service. This is when we ask the question to businesses, this is a lot of times the answer we get. It's very siloed, it's very separated. But the reality is that customer experience is anything but linear, right? It's really, if we talk about marketing, that's happening across that entire life cycle of your customer. And really what we're kind of on what we discussed, your customers are going through more of a winding road, something like this that you see here on the bottom, where they might hit the website and fill out the form, but not engage with you any further. Sales might pick them up at some point and move them through a process, but they do not buy. They might even go live on social media and email, but instead they just need some support from your services team. And really what we see with businesses is that it's much harder to manage things this way. It doesn't just go linear. It really is about providing value on every interaction that you have with someone on your website. It's really customer-based or even contact-based, as we would call it in HubSpot. So regarding that, we try to kind of figure that out in terms of how that works. So we've been around as HubSpot for around 15 years. We have around 100,000 customers. And every year, I think we do around the hundreds of thousands of calls with companies, big and small, anything from a one-person business to the largest enterprises in the world. And when we untangle that complexity and the challenges that teams face managing that buyer experiences, which is complex and definitely not linear, we pulled out 5 core elements that kind of can help you make their experience engines run. Just like we all need elements like air, water, food, we think our customers need it as well. So our customers need content to reach people who are unaware they exist, content to pull out specific problems. They need messaging, for example, to start conversations. They need automation to streamline processes. They need reporting and insights to actually understand what's happening. And then they, of course, need an underlying layer of data, be able to capture all of this and be able to optimize everything completely. So that's really our philosophy, is we need these 5 core elements in terms of providing a good customer experience. And then the question, of course, for you as a business is how can we actually manage that? And there are a couple of options for you. And actually the first one, there's over 12,000 vendors that can help you solve for one or maybe a key element within that customer experience. So there is a vendor that does, for example, content, like a CMS or maybe something specifically for sales documentation. There are vendors who do things like live chat or email or video. There are vendors who do automation. There are vendors who do reporting. And then there are vendors that do data. Obviously, the issue there is it might not solve for your entire customer experience. It only solves for a part of it. And we kind of call it the Cobble tax within HubSpot, because how do you manage those experiences end to end? It's basically 2 possible places that we see out there. And the first one we just looked at is really solve for a specific element and paying a tax to then manage multiple customer records, having to build integrations, make it hard to sync data and align. Choose tools that are either simple or powerful. It's almost impossible to choose both. And going for an inflexible stack that doesn't fully integrate, doesn't fully align, which makes it hard to adapt for your business as things change. And as we all know, we're in an ever-changing world. So that's your first option. Option 2 is you can go for a tool that pitches itself as a platform, but is really the product of either an acquisition strategy, like Salesforce, or separately built products tied loosely together. So there are other platforms out there. They pitch themselves as an all-in-one solution, but they really are either acquired and sit separately under separate code bases, as we call it within HubSpot, or they are separate products and not really tied into together. And you will still have those challenges of managing multiple tools, multiple products, paying that same Cobble tax. And we really believe that HubSpot is built different in this way. And that's the key differentiator if we're talking about something like HubSpot versus the other solutions. Because the other options really give you the same outcome. Data, processes, and teams are not aligned, and your buyer experience will suffer. Because you work out of multiple systems, it's really bad in terms of teams working together, creating an alignment. And as the market changes quickly, it becomes very difficult and very expensive to adapt. And we really think that's where HubSpot makes a difference, is that you have all of this in one place. We talked about these areas of content, messaging, automation, reporting, and data. And that's really where HubSpot takes that all together and handcrafted them into one place with a single buyer experience at the end of it. The last thing that's really great about it is because HubSpot is built in one place, all the research we do into the content element, for example, doesn't just impact the website you run with us. It impacts the marketing tools that you use with HubSpot, like the landing pages. It impacts the sales solutions that we offer. For example, sales documentation or proposals, and also the Service Hub, if you talk about self-service and knowledge base. So because it all sits into that same layer, it really works great together. That's a very big benefit there. Excellent. And then the question, of course, is, and the topic of this webinar is, what are the 5 benefits of the CRM and the marketing tools work together? And that's really what we're getting to now, because the marketing hub of HubSpot is really a CRM-powered marketing platform. It has everything you need to get found, engage new leads, and nurture them to leads ready for sales. And that these are kind of the tools that are in there. It's anything you need to generate more visibility. Think about things like managing blogs, your ads, your SEO performance, your social media, as well as personalizing it at scale. So email marketing is a big one that our customers need, and automation, but also things like chatbots and live chat, building dynamic website experiences, a really big point. And then lastly, being able to report and customize all your website experiences in that place as well. So how much revenue do we get per campaign? How is that working? And these are then those 5 outcomes that you get from having really your CRM and your HubSpot Marketing Hub connected. First of all, we can use data, any CRM data, to segment and target our audiences flawlessly. You don't need to see in one platform how they react to marketing emails, another how many sales we've closed with them, another platform regarding the customer service. That is all aligned in your HubSpot platform. So you're always sending the right message to the right people. Secondly, we might want to use all kinds of automation, not just when someone fills in a form, but maybe if someone makes a purchase, if someone interacts with sales, we want to engage to them differently. So you can really leverage automation all across the board to scale your marketing. And all those use cases are possible. Thirdly, we can create personalized content without needing developers. So because it's so connected to the CRM, we can give you an entirely different website experience than someone who comes that new on the website. If we know you're a customer, or we know you're interested in product X, let's say ERP in the case of target integration, then we can tailor that whole website based on those requirements that you have. Another fantastic way of really combining the two. Number 4 is really you can report on the return of investment of your marketing efforts. There are a lot of companies we speak to who do not know what is the return of investment of their marketing efforts. Could be B2B with a complex sales cycle, could also be B2C. Because again, it lives together within HubSpot, this is out of the box something that we solve for. Being able to identify how much revenue did we close through a paid ads campaign or even through a piece of content. That's really something that we can tackle for you as a key business problem. Lastly, it's really about messaging. So how do we keep everything consistent across email, live chat, and all those channels that we have? How many times do we have to fill in additional details on live chat over and over again, but we're already an existing customer? All these friction points is really something that HubSpot hopes to remove by having it all in one place and having it work together. So those are really the 5 points, the 5 key elements in terms of why the marketing hub of HubSpot is really key in terms of working well together with the CRM. Martin, is there anything you want to add there in terms of?
Yeah, I suppose I can just talk a little bit about on the sales CRM side of things on the 5 reasons why I think that works so well. I think the first point is just how well it integrates with the website. So basically on the CRM side of things, what we can do is integrate the HubSpot CRM with the website. From there, then any new leads that we have coming in will be automatically generated. We can also then go on to that contact within HubSpot and see what they've been looking at generally, which will give us a good indication if they're calling in and what they might be interested in. So let's talk, for example, about target integration, our website, and we use HubSpot. If a new lead calls in, I can open up their page on the HubSpot CRM, and I can see that they've been looking at the HubSpot page on our website, which is going to give me a good indication as to that contact is calling in because they're interested in HubSpot. I can also see what pages they've been looking at, how long they've been looking at those pages. And as well then, just I suppose on the admin side of things, it saved me the time of having to go in, create that contact, update the personal information, put in the link to the website. HubSpot is going to create all that information for me, which is really saving me time. And it can even do things like lead score, things like that, which is hugely effective in this day and age. So I suppose then on the automation side of things as well, what we can do is we can have HubSpot create leads and kind of look after the kind of workflows as well in terms of a sales team. So whether we want a round robin kind of style, so new leads that come in, whether we want them to be assigned to new salespeople on a round robin basis, or whether it might be territory based. So I could be working in the Irish team, but we could maybe have 2 different teams. So one team that's looking after the UK leads and one team that's looking after the Irish leads. So we can get HubSpot to automate all that for us. So we don't have the wrong people getting the wrong leads and having to reassign them to different people. I think the meetings tool as well is a really handy I suppose addition to the HubSpot CRM. So we can also set it that we can set if let's say, for example, I have a contact that wants to have a meeting with me and one of my colleagues. So the way we operate here is on any meetings, we have myself, who I'm a business development manager, but we would also include one of the software consultants as well. So if we have one of our contacts that wants to have a meeting with both of us, we can assign the calendar that someone can go in and actually book a meeting with myself and my colleague, and it'll only show the dates that we're both available, not when just I'm available. So I suppose it cuts back on the to and fro emails, having to say, look, I'm not available this day, let me check with my colleague, that someone can actually go in and do that from scratch. And I think that's really it. Like, you know, really I could talk about HubSpot all day long and why I think it works so well together. I think now we'll just, does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like us to show from here?
So I haven't received any questions in the Q&A section of Zoom. If you guys have any questions, please share them with us over there. Just one question, Mark, from our end. Yes, we did talk about CRM and ERP integration, and that we have done a couple of them as well. Like, if I remember it correctly, most of the ERP systems are already integrated. So for an example, if we take SAP Business One, and Odoo as well, these are the integrations which are already available, and customers can take advantage of that pretty quickly.
Absolutely, and that's a big benefit. I think the other point, I think, just to take it one step back on Martin's presentation in terms of working with a partner, especially if we're talking ERPs, is I think number one, if you want to de-risk your project, I think that is absolutely critical. We've seen some customers take this in-house without having the resources necessary. So I think that's a really big point in terms of also working with a partner on those type of integrations, as well as then consulting, of course, on business processes and even executing certain critical parts for you that could significantly delay your projects. That's also, I think, also that we've seen in our partnerships is really making that work together and really managing that risk and managing your integrations.
It's the change management bit as well. When you think about it, it's a big change in the organization when you bring in a new system, and it's not easy for people to just go and change. Yes, you can bring in a marketing tool, but when it comes to sales and salespeople who are very good at selling, they feel a bit kind of threatened when you bring in a CRM system and go, why do I have to do this? It's increasing my work. They only start getting the advantage after a few months when they have to go back on a lead, which was probably 3 months, 6 months old, and have to find out what's going on with them, how active or slow are they. That's where the information becomes powerful, but yes, that data has to be collected over a period of time, which yes, initially customers, users may not understand.
Exactly. And even if we pride ourselves at HubSpot of being a CRM that's very easy to use and easy to deploy, you still need to have the right processes in place. That counts for small businesses, but really anyone that is growing or scaling or adopting something new. And I think that is critical. Easy to use is not good enough anymore, really. So it's really about adopting it.
I think though, in terms of HubSpot itself, the interface is out of all the CRMs that I've used, it probably has one of the nicest interfaces. And yeah, I suppose the ease of use and creating opportunities, searching for a lead. I think that the dashboard as well, in terms of, if the sales management training like that, very easy to track performance from previous months, so over the year. And obviously the current month as well. So I think the dashboards on HubSpot are something that makes it extremely powerful as well. And I suppose why someone would come to a partner like ourselves is what we can offer. So experience, I suppose we have plenty of experience with HubSpot, and not just on the sales side of things, but we also have software consultants that can advise if any integrations are needed, whether we can offer those integrations, how long they will take. We can offer training, which is another, whether it's going to be, take the whole team and train the whole team, or will we just take one person and train that person and make them the HubSpot champion of the office. And we can also offer support as well. So we have different support packages. So, once we do train you up, it's not a case of, off you go, don't come back to us again. We nearly become like a new employee within your company, whereas that, if you do need any questions asking, or any support or any issues, you're more than welcome to contact us. We'll always because we have offices all over the world, we can be pretty much available for any timeline as well.
Right, I don't have many questions coming in, so I'm assuming you guys have covered the topic very well. I always say that no questions means either the topic was brilliant and then you've covered everything, or the topic was too boring, and yes, we need to kind of improve this for next time. Guys, look, thank you for joining for today. Martin, I think time to wrap up.
Yeah. So guys, listen, thank you very, very much for joining today's webinar. If anyone does have any questions, feel free to contact myself after. So you can contact me. My email address is martin.wright, that's WRIGHT at targetintegration.com, or feel free to contact Mart as well. But yeah, listen guys, thank you very much for joining, and yeah, we hope to see you on one of our next webinars.
Thank you all.
Cheers everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.